We are going to enter the museum now. Pharaoh.
Please.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay. We just scan the tickets and get into the museum. The Pharaohs golden train.
We're going to give you free time so you can go around and also to see the Royal Mount. So down there, it's the way you go into the Royal Monk's room.
Royal Monk's room.
Yeah, you will see it after we finish up.
Okay.
So the first thing we're going to see in that museum is an age of 35,000 years old. We believe it was from age. So that is the first thing we are going to see. That is an ancient skeleton. It has an age of 35,000 years old, and it's known as Nazlet Khater human. And we found it in an area known as Nazlet Khater, which is a city known as Sahaj nowadays, which is like 400 kilometers to the south of Cairo. It's real skeleton.
Wow.
And also if you look at his spine looks like that. That means he used to carry heavy items. So probably he used to carry like heavy stones, which means he used to work in the mine so he can survive. Also, we found those items that made by stone nearby him, which the item he were using during his life, so he can survive for hunting animals, so he can make food like that. Also, you can see that things looks like a knife, so he can make the food. Also, that museum, we are going to see that ancient Egyptian agriculture for ancient Egyptian people was very important, and they start using the primitive tools that made by wood, such as the axes, wooden axes, like you can see over there. See, there's 3 different axes, and they made by wood. Also, the sickle. That thing here, that one as a sickle, that to cut the grass, and it's made by wood also. But how wood gonna cut the grass? If you look closely, you're gonna see there's stones attached with it, and it's sharp, so it can easily cut the grass. And then they collected the seeds, they collected the weight, and they store it in jars like this. And that big thing is like an oven to make the bread. And the ancient Egyptian people were using the wheat to make the bread. But the way to make it, you have to grind the wheat first. And the way you grind it,
This is to grind.
the way to grind the wheat, you have to make your back flat, your knees on the floor, and you start to grind. And in that time, it doesn't matter who make the job. Women and men can do the same job. We have maquettes over there. Come follow me.
We have what? We have there? Man.
So look here, you can see there is a woman and a man. They are grinding the wheat on a pallet. You see how they are grinding? But the most important thing, if you can look closely, you can see the position. The back is flat, the knees on the floor, and they grind on a pallet. And then they make the bread. You can see globes of the bread over there in different shape, like round one and long one and flat one. That is the globes of the bread. And that stick here that has like black holes in the middle, that to make fire. They put like a powder and with a stick you have it to make the fire.
This one, right?
And the rest of the maquette is just to show you the life of the ancient Egyptian people, or the basics in that time, how they are baking the bread.
See the position, कैसे पत्थर पे पैर रख के, and then
sorprende mucho un bocadillo que hoy día es prácticamente el bocadillo más antiguo del planeta. Sí, es un sándwich, un pan abierto y lleno de alimentación. Ese tipo de estatuas las llamamos modelos. Todo lo que
And then we have the royal insignia.
Royal
The royal
insignia.
insignia, which which these parts here, such as the life key, that is the life key. It's known as Ankh or Ankh. That is an hieroglyphic word. And the life key, symbol for longer life. The pillar shade is a pillar for stability.
This pillar was
You see the thing that beside the life key, the yellow one, that is the flail, and the blue one over there, that is nakhaf. So the flail and nakhaf, when the pharaoh uses it, he folded his arms like that on the chest, and it symbolizes for eternity and ability of ruling the country. So these are the royal insignia. Each bar, he use it based on the occasion. He don't use all of them in the same time. It depends on the occasion. So some occasions he use only the life key, some occasions he use the flail and nakhaf, and some occasions he use the pillar shape.
Okay.
Then we have the protective goddess. Protective goddess such as the vulture, the cobra, and goddess Hathor.
Say it again, what you said?
We have the protective goddess such as the vulture. Yeah, protective goddess. Yeah. Such as the vulture, the cobra, that is Isis, and the cow Hathor. So the vulture is a god for Upper Egypt, and the cobra is the god of Lower Egypt. That is Isis, she is a protection for the sarcophagus. And the cow Hathor, she is a goddess for motherhood and love. Because the ancient Egyptian people, they consider the cow as like a mother because she has ability to produce milk like mother. So they took it as a goddess for motherhood. Same thing like in India. In India, they believe the cow is the mother.
Yeah.
The same thing the ancient Egyptian people were doing back in the day.
Yeah.
And we have here a god, his name is Jehuti, also known as Thoth or Thas, and that was an evil bird. He has ability to find the worms that buried underground, and because the ancient Egyptian people have seen that, they took it as a god. They took that bird as a god. Behind him, we see that statue, that is the scribe, which is the writer in the papyrus. And he used to use tools like a brush, like you see on the left side of the bird, there is like two brush tools. That to use it for the writings on the paper, and here these things to mix the color, and using those plates to extract the color. So that's how you bring the color, so they can use it in the paper. You can see part of the colors here. You use it also in a tent. That is a tent for a princess. Her name is Istimkhib II. She was a princess during the 15th dynasty, which is 15th family during the Middle Kingdom. The purpose of that tent what is skin? Are colors that represented paradise.
Paradise.
Also, if you look inside the tent, you're gonna see the sarcophagus of the princess. Which is that one. That is the sarcophagus. The sarcophagus is just like a layer to protect the mummified body. So the mummified body, after they finish the mummification, they store it in a coffin. And that coffin, they put it inside that sarcophagus. And if you look in the background of the sarcophagus, you're gonna see there is a lady standing in human appearance, flanging her wings. That she's a goddess Isis, the same thing we have seen over there. She is protecting the sarcophagus. Also, you're gonna see different boxes inside the tent. There is like 3 different boxes. One box over there, which is red and white, and it has the shape of Anubis, the black jackal. That is a box that stored the internal organs, the 4 jars. Remember, after they take the internal organs from the body, such as intestines, liver, kidney, and the brain, they put it in 4 jars. These 4 jars is inside that box over there. And the other 2 black boxes is for her jewelry. She is a princess. She had a jewelry, and the ancient Egyptian people believe they are going to use these same items in the afterlife. So they store the items she will use in the same place where she is buried, so she can use it in the afterlife.
And there is no afterlife.
That is a pharaoh known as Thutmose III. Thutmose III, he was the general army, and he was a pharaoh during the 18th dynasty, which means the new kingdom. If you look at the statue, it's made by black granite. Black granite was very important for ancient Egyptian people, more than gold and more than red granite. Okay, so black granite come in the first, second red granite, third gold. So when they do a statue made using the black granite, that means he's an important person. And that's right, he was a pharaoh. Beside that, he was one of the general army during his time. How I figure out his name? How do you figure out his name? Do you have any clue? If you look at the belt side, you're gonna see there is a small symbol in the middle of the belt. You remember I told you about it in the temple in the pyramids area,
yes.
the cartouche. So that is the cartouche that contains his name.
Yes.
If you would like to see that cartouche as a bigger one, behind the statue, you're going to see the title and a bigger cartouche.
Ah, right here.
You can see here the hieroglyphics, and in the middle here, the cartouche symbol that has the name of the king, and then the remain of his titles.
Okay.
The same thing behind us, you see that is a sphinx. But the sphinx here, he got a name. His name is Amen Mahad III. So why that sphinx here, he has a name? Because we have the cartouche, the world is full sphere. But the one in Giza Plateau, we don't have anything like that. So the one in Giza Plateau, we keep calling it the sphinx, which is the same name given by the Greeks. So the sphinx word, just to describe the creature, out of a line and head of human. So that one here, we call it the sphinx of Amen Mahad III. Because Amen Mahad III, that is the name of the pharaoh. But the word sphinx, that is the meaning of the creature. But the art here, which is the sphinx they used to do in the New Kingdom, they made the art more different than the one we have seen in Giza Plateau. Because the sphinx in Giza Plateau made during the Old Kingdom, during the First Dynasty. That one here made during the New Kingdom. So they made different art. 90% of the art of the creature or of the art, it's made by like lion features. 90% lion body, as you can see, it's seated body of the lion. The beard, like lion's beard. The ears, except the human feature.
Lion's body, human face.
But the one in Giza Plateau, it was 50-50. 50% lion body, 50% human appearance.
Yeah, his nose is also broken.
Unfortunately, most of the statues you're gonna see here got critical damage because of the erosion. Were like buried underground for a long time. It was neglected. And then when we pull it up, it got affected because of like moving from place to another place. Like these statues were in all the museum, but they moved it here beside the royal mummies and so underneath.
Okay.
And over there, that is a statue. King Tut. Tutankhamun, he was only king, and he had a father. His name is Akhenaten, which is that statue. Akhenaten, he believed there is only one God, so he combined all gods into one God, give it a name Aten, and therefore his name became Ak-Aten, which means lives in Aten. But if you look at his statue, it looks like a woman, but actually he's a man. But he had no difference between women and men in that time, so he made an art known as Tal al-Amarna or Amarna art to combine the men and the feminine features together. And as you can see, the statue is a mix with the man and women together, which mean like longer face, the cheek, the big belly, the breast, and he folded his arms and he using the two real insignia, which is the thing we have seen over there for the eternity and ability of ruling the country, the Flail and Nakha. After that, his son ruled the country, which is King Tut, the boy king, and he returned back the name of the king, of the god, from Aten to become, as it's usually, Amun. So that's why his name is Tut Ankh Amun, which means Tut lives in Amun. And here we have a chariot. The chariot used for the wars, to beat the enemies. And the chariot here, that one made by wood and laid by gold, because that is a royal chariot for the pharaoh by himself. If you come closer by the chariot, you're gonna see a picture, or you're gonna see the art on that chariot. You can see here is the pharaoh, so the chariot, and he using a weapon like a bow, and he killing the enemies. Also the cartouche here that identify his name. So it has the same symbols as the statue we have seen over there for Thutmose III. So that is a chariot belongs to Thutmose, the general army and the pharaoh in that time during the New Kingdom. And in front of the chariot, you can see there is 3 people. These are the captive, which mean like captured enemies in that time. And if you look at their hands, they are behind their back, and it's cuffed like the like cuffs.
Yeah. Wow.
Okay.
Apparently I ran through there. I thought you guys were in there.
Okay, what is next?
Right, start recording. So after the ancient Egyptian people, the Greeks came to Egypt. And the Greeks, when they came by Alexander the Great. Alexander the Great, when he came to Egypt, he found Egypt under control by the Persian. So he supported the ancient Egyptian people to kick out the Persian, and they declare the Alexander the Great as a pharaoh, as a king in that time. So Alexander the Great, he was the first Greek pharaoh in that time, which means in 200 BC. And then he traveled to the north of Cairo, to a land surrounded by the Mediterranean Sea, and he gave it a name Alexandria, which is a city today, Alexandria city, and it's a beautiful city surrounded by the Mediterranean Sea, and he took it as the capital city of that time. He came to Egypt in 480 AD. So after the Roman came to Egypt, the Muslim people came after that in 642 AD by the leader Amr ibn al-As. So since that time until today, Egypt considered as Islamic country. And the Muslim people, when they came to Egypt, they shared the Arabic language, which is the spoken language nowadays, and they shared the Islamic religion as well. So here in Egypt, we have a mix of the religion, Muslim and Christian. The Muslim here, they follow Sunni, and the Christian here, the majority are Orthodox. So we are going to continue the tour in the museum, and we are going to see a Roman art started by the god Nilus. God Nilus is a god for the Nile River during the Roman people. Because the Roman people, when they came to Egypt, they found the gods of the ancient Egyptian people are fancy. So they made a combination, they made a combine with the Egyptian gods and the Roman god. So they create another god known as Nilus, which is a god for the Nile River. During the Roman Empire, unfortunately the statue got critical damage. As you can see, his head is not there anymore. The left arm is broken, and both of the right arm, and you can see he's sitting on a throne, and you can see the ancient Roman language on the throne here. And also the statue designed by two pillars, like Roman temple.
What is the language?
Here,
Right here.
don't touch it. Right here, that is the Roman language.
Roman language.
Also, we have a Sphinx. They use it for decoration for the temples, which is the one over there, using mosaic. It's like mosaic floor, so they can decorate the floor during the Roman and Ptolemy era as well.
Like carpets.
Guys. Also, during the Ptolemy era, they were using the coins for making the trade.
Okay.
I'm just waiting for them so we can continue.
Let me.
नाक से ब्रेन खींच के निकाल
हम वहाँ भी जाएंगे. वेट करने के लिए कब करना है? हाँ.
Right, and here we have coins for the trade they were using back in the time. But the coin, it has no value, just a picture of the ruler in that time. So how do you figure out the value? Based on the size of the coin. Smaller size, lower value. Bigger size, higher value. And it's not perfect, it's not rounded, like perfectly rounded,
Yeah.
because they didn't use machines in that time. So that's why we have that. And here are a roll of papyrus that's used by the Egyptian people. But here, those papyrus used by Zenon. Zenon, that was a supervisor of the finance during the Ptolemy era, which is after the Greek people and after the ancient Egyptian people, and between the, like before the Muslim people. So he was using the papyrus that made by the ancient Egyptian people, the plans to make it in the paper, so he can use it and write on it to write the statistics of the finance in that time. That's why we call it Papyrus of Zenon.
Okay.
Long time ago, 2004.
For the Greek.
Right, and here we have the first golden coffin for a priest, because in that time they didn't use a golden coffin for the priests. It was regular coffin made just by wood. But that was the first. So that was the first one that made by wood, made by a layer of gold.
The priest.
As you can see, yeah, for the priest, and also you can see his face, every feeling is still alive.
Coffin of a priest made out of a gold. It's a gold made.
It's wood and laid by a layer of gold.
Layer of gold.
As well. One of the famous soldiers in that time, Saint George, he was a Roman soldier during the Roman Empire here in Egypt. And because the Roman Empire, they made persecution against the Christian in that time, and he found the Emperor Trajan, he found there is a soldier in his army following the Christianity religion. So instead of ordering cutting his head entirely, he started to make punishment tools against him first. So he used punishment tools such as like a wheel that has like nails to run on his body. But then they put him in a jail. But in the second day he got healed like a miracle. He like nothing happened to him. So he started another punishment tool against him. Eventually, like every time they put him in a jail and he got healed, eventually he ordered to cut his head. So he became a martyr, Saint George. So we have here two doors from ancient churches. The difference between each one is the evolution of the art in that time, like a regular cross and more fancy cross. And also we have here a robe, like a priest, where is a priest in the church. But not like that. Typically, it just has like slightly difference. And behind it, you can see the lantern to make the steam inside the church during the mass.
Lantern to make the steam inside the church.
Because he kept having miracle every time he go in jail, he got healed. So the king or the Roman Empire at that time, he got done. What is going on? So cut his head. And then we have that desk. That desk known as Ibagel. The Ibagel dedicated to handle the Bible. During the mass, during the prayer in the church, the priest, he bring that Ibagel in front of him and he put the Bible on it so it can make it easy for him. He can read from the Bible during the mass. So that is an Orgo Bible. It's written in two different languages. The bold font that is all the Greek language and the light font that is Arabic.
Okay.
And behind us, two languages and
What is this thing?
That is like a middle in that time, and it has a shape like a lion eating a goat. It's like a middle to save like a material for the churches. And behind us here, like that is a Muslim bar. We have here the mashrabiyah. The mashrabiyah, also known as Oriel window, dedicated to adjust the light system inside the Muslim architectures such as mosques or Muslim houses. So the mashrabiyah, it doesn't adjust the light system by reversing, but the sun rays. So when the sun rays go through those holes, it gives a good shape inside the architecture. That is the reason they call it mashrabiyah, or also known as the Oriel window. And then we have the Torah boxes. Those are boxes to store the Torah. the holy book for Jewish people. And you can see here all the rule of the Torah that used to be stored in that box here, and it's written in Hebrew, which is the language for the Jewish people. Then we have the member, which is velvet for the Muslim architecture inside the mosques, only used by the sheikh or imam. You can go up there and he make the speech for the Muslim people, and usually they use it every Friday for Jummah, Friday prayer, even here in Egypt. Not in the museum, in the mosques.
How about this one, brother?
That is a those are like vases made by
Ceramic vases.
And then came my friend.
Yeah, because they would like to show the tourists the Muslim architecture beside the Coptic, beside the Roman. Also, we have a box that used to store the Quran. As you know, the Quran is the holy book for Muslim people. So we have here a big box used to store the big version of the Holy Quran. And the box here designed by Quran verses on each side, which using the Mamluks font. Mamluks, that was like an empire during the Turkish Empire here in Egypt in 1800.
Box of the Holy Quran.
Yeah. Do you know Saudi Arabia, of course?
This way?
Yeah, because it used to store like a big version of the Holy Quran, but it's still missing. They didn't find it yet. You know Saudi Arabia?
Yeah.
So in Saudi Arabia, there is Mecca.
Yes.
And Mecca has Kaaba.
Yeah.
Kaaba, it looks like black because it's covered by that thing. That is the covering of Kaaba.
Real one?
Yeah, it's a real one. That was the last one we made it here in Egypt because we used to make it here in Egypt and we sent it to Saudi Arabia.
Okay.
And during we do that, we use that thing behind you. That thing is mahmal. You see this thing behind you? So it used to carry the kiswa or the covering. Yeah.
So this was the only original covering?
Yeah, that for covering, carrying
Carrying the
the
kiswa.
kiswa. And the people, they move from Egypt to Saudi Arabia to replace it with the old one every year. After that, like that was the last piece we made it here in Egypt. Gamal Abdel Nasser, the president of Egypt in 1950, and now Saudi Arabia. And now Saudi Arabia, they make it by their own and they replace it by themselves every year. Here, 4 different women's. It's right for hair.
Okay.
And here,
Can you move? Yeah, when I ask you to come, you don't come.
and here we have 4 different women's. They are Egyptians, but the difference between each one is the region. And to show us how was the women back in the time, like 100 years ago, how they used to dress up. The one on the right side, she is from Cairo. Next to her, from Alexandria. The one next to her, Nubian, which is from Aswan. And the one on the left side from Oasis. Like see what Oasis, like the desert, white desert, like that. So that's how the women used to dress up back in the days, like probably like 100 years ago. Also including the jewelry they were using, such as necklace, bracelet, rings, that made by gold, but that is not a pure gold. That is just a replica, like high copy.
Okay.
Alright.
In the basement, there are mummies.
The royal mummies here. Unfortunately, they don't allow taking pictures or film.